Brock Lesnar is as likely to be seen in WWE as Vince McMahon. Janelle Grant's lawsuit against Vince McMahon John Laurinaitis in WWE has already sunk. Vince McMahon. The case has barely begun, and yet many fans in the industry of observers believe McMahon was forced to resign from the company just because of the severity of the allegations. Now we've reviewed the details of Miss Grant's lawsuit, including the allegations, so we won't get into them here. But it's worth mentioning that Lesnar isn't being sued, but an individual believed to be Lesnar but not confirmed is mentioned as allegedly making remarks. Lesnar is reportedly being yanked from WWE events. Lesnar did not appear at the Royal Rumble to set up a much-anticipated program versus Gunther at WrestleMania. Lesnar's presence promotional material for WWE 2K24 was wiped, and his involvement in the game was significantly reduced. Lesnar is still featured on the WWE roster, unlike Vince McMahon, who fans have to seek for on the WWE's website like they're playing a modified version of Where's Waldo. Despite Lesnar's apparent shadow ban, rumors persist that WWE is reconsidering its decision to ban Lesnar. Like anything in wrestling, it's difficult to tell which rumors have any basis in fact and which are simply fabricated. Nonetheless, some of wrestling's more reputable news sources claim there has been a discussion of bringing Lesnar back. When is anyone's guess? But let's look at why it might not be a bad idea and why it's probably the worst idea, since Vince McMahon read the most important reason for a Brock return is what causes any sport or corporation resort to blind eye to damage bad behavior: the almighty dollar. Lesnar is still a draw. Anyone he wrestles. He's lost multiple high-profile battles against Roman Reigns in 2021 and 2022. Definitely one of the worst book series. It didn't lose any moments. Lesnar is that rare wrestler who will always be pictured as a main eventer due to his real-life reputation as a tough guy and his imposing stature. This is an unimportant quality, especially in an industry where the injury bug can sideline top stars, leaving a promotion with few or no main eventers, such as in 2022 when Lesnar had to wrestle Roman Reigns at SummerSlam after Randy Orton was injured and the WWE had no viable contenders for the Tribal Chief. He can get some of this is due to the excitement of seeing Lesnar taking opponents to Superlex City and watching them execute big man spots that very few wrestlers can perform. But as fans saw with Lesnar's match at WrestleMania 39, Brock got an entertaining match out of almost who isn't a bad worker but a limited one at that. Not only that, but Lesnar worked on the defensive a side of him fans never saw before. He can still put people over. Not only is Lesnar still a draw, but the WW Lesnar is great at putting rising stars over, such as when Lesnar elevated Cody Rhodes with their Best of 3 series last year. Lesnar's shocking assault on the American Nightmare the night after RHS's WrestleMania loss to Roman Reigns was brilliant booking, as RHS needed a high-profile program to rebuild the momentum he lost after a surprise loss to the head of the table at WrestleMania 39. Rhodes could have worked against the Judgment Day, which he eventually did. Lesnar broke RHS's arm before their rematch and punished Cody. Their RHS's willingness to wrestle with a broken arm and his spirited comeback at their third deciding match at SummerSlam put aside any doubts that RHS was Raw's #1 babyface and that his loss to Reigns was just a speed bump on his quest to finishing his story. It's difficult to imagine anyone but Brock helping elevate Cody so much, but why shouldn't WWE bring him back? Well, it's standard procedure to suspend someone. Now, aren't people allowed the presumption of innocence until proven guilty? Whether or not the court of public opinion has found Vince McMahon guilty, the allegations made against him, McMahon is presumed innocent until guilty. However, it's common for businesses to put an individual on leave paid in some cases and unpaid in others while allegations of misconduct are being investigated. However, in some cases professional wrestling has released wrestlers after certain allegations such as domestic violence. In Vince McMahon's case, the WWE faced major sponsors backing out of deals, which many believe is why McMahon decided to resign despite denying all allegations and promising to fight them. In Lesnar's case, the WWE suspending him, even though this has been officially stated, is standard operating procedure. It's hard to deny being mentioned in the allegations. There's no denying that Lesnar's situation is different than Vince McMahon's. Brock's defenders can argue that Lesnar's current hiatus is a case of guilt by association. Furthermore, they can argue Lesnar isn't even mentioned by name in the allegations. At the same time, it's difficult to deny who the former UFC champion mentioned in the lawsuit lawsuit is, as we'll see next, to the WWE and its legal team have a big reason for wanting to keep Lesnar off WWE TV, as the WWE is being sued and Janelle Grant is not only suing Vince McMahon and Laurinaitis, she's suing the WWE. The WWE is being sued because Grant alleges some of WWE officials with power knew about McMahon and Laurinaitis' alleged misconduct, yet they did nothing to stop it. A corporation can be sued if a person proves a corporate culture exists that fails to protect employees from misconduct such as harassment or other hazardous work conditions. While the WWE cannot change what happened in the past, it must protect itself from future allegations that he knew about individuals engaging in bad behavior and either turned a blind eye or refused to deal with it. The WWE could put itself in legal jeopardy if it brings Lesnar back without warning to determine if Lesnar was involved in any misconduct. In Lesnar's case, the WWE hasn't officially suspended him, but it's obvious that they're concerned about what could come out in the lawsuit if it pertains to Lesnar. Hypothetically, if a court determines that Lesnar engaged in misconduct prior to Endeavor's merger with WWE, Lesnar will have to be dismissed otherwise. The WWE discovered this when Slim Jim backed out of its sponsorship deal with the company for the Royal Rumble until Vince McMahon's conveniently timed resignation from the company. If the WWE decided for whatever reason to give Brock the benefit of the doubt, you could be sure that the universe would make their displeasure known anytime Lesnar showed up on live television. Even worse, the WWE could face Slim Jim and or other sponsorships deciding to withdraw their deals from the WWE. Has enough star power right now, and as big as a star as Lesnar is, and as much as you can put people over in the WWE, the company continues to create new stars, and it's also shown a remarkable ability for restoring wrestlers who slipped out of the main event back into the top, with Drew McIntyre being a good example. They also have several superstars of the WWE universe would love to see at the top, including Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, LA Knight, and even newcomers such as Braun B. If the WWE feels it needs Brock Lesnar back right now that badly, it needs to take a long look at how it's creating stars and promoting its full-time roster. The WWE has many reasons to keep Lesnar away, millions of them with Janelle Grant's lawsuit, and unless it wants to open itself up to further damages, he needs to understand that Brock Lesnar can't return to TV. Businesses have never been better, and remarkably, the WWE is weather the latest Vince McMahon scandal without TGA Holdings area. Emmanuel should know better, and he most likely does. Emmanuel needs to stop any talk of bringing Lesnar back and focus on maintaining the WWE's damage control mode and waiting to see what happens if McMahon's case goes to trial. If Lesnar's side in the allegations is confirmed, they will have to wait and see if Lesnar engaged in any misconduct. Otherwise, a company risks future lawsuits, its current sponsorship deals, and even loss of popularity. What do you think? Should WWE bring back Brock Lesnar? Let us know in the comments section below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling stuff. Brock Lesnar is as likely to be seen in WWE as Vince McMahon. Janelle Grant's lawsuit against Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis in WWE has already sunk. Vince McMahon, the case has barely begun, and yet many fans in the industry of observers believe McMahon was forced to resign from the company just because of the severity of the allegations. Now we've reviewed the details of Miss Grant's lawsuit, including the allegations, so we won't get into them here, but it's worth mentioning that Lesnar isn't being sued, but an individual believed to be Lesnar but not confirmed is mentioned as allegedly making remarks. Lesnar is reported